I have a lot of photo shoots, but when you go to my Instagram, what you see, it's blackness, queerness, Latino, that's all you're gonna see. That's all I'm gonna show you. My name is Roberto Hannibal. I am Puerto Rican. I'm Afro-Latino. I am from New Jersey. Growing up Puerto Rican, my grandmother was very close. We went to Puerto Rico every single year, and we spent a lot of time there. A lot of my earliest memories are that of, like the culture, the food, the TV shows, Luz Clarita. My grandmother actually lived in Loíza. A lot of Black people there, so I saw a lot of people like me there, but it was, when I went out into other places, I recognized that, I'm darker than a lot of people around me, and growing up, I actually grew up in a pretty white town. I went to a white school. I was one of maybe 4 Black people. It was myself, my sister, and another brother and sister, and I was always aware of that. Storytelling to me is the root of who we are. We grow up knowing so much, but we don't know where we come from. We need people to tell us that. And storytelling is more than just the story itself, it's also how you're telling the story. Let me really be in that story with you. That is, to me, the importance of storytelling. We need to know every detail because those little details are gonna really inform who we become as a person. When I think about myself, when I think about who I've become, through storytelling, I really think about the entire growth of myself. I think about that Black boy in the white school. I think about coming home, being submersed in all of this culture, and then having that removed, telling people, at home we do things a bit differently. And growing into that full rounded man, that came with me. It's who we are at home, who we are in public are 2 different people, and I think storytelling helps bridge that gap. When I think about being Puerto Rican, Black, gay in America, I think about all of the tough times, just truthfully. I'm not Black enough, I'm not Latino enough, but the one thing that bonds both cultures is that they both hate gays. And that is the absolute truth. So growing up, you learn how to navigate all of these worlds. I believe that art always breathes out of those situations. Photography is something that I fell into. I love saying that because I never saw myself as a creative. Growing up, you gotta be a doctor, you gotta be a lawyer, that's it. I didn't come into art until 2020 during COVID, and that isolation drove me crazy, but then it also really ignited this flame inside me to really show my photography. Through my photography, I want to show the Black, the queer, the Latino experience as much as possible. I take a lot of photos. I have a lot of photo shoots, but when you go to my Instagram, what you see, it's blackness, queerness, Latino, that's all you're gonna see. That's all I'm gonna show you. We drive so much culture, and to be behind the scenes all the time is wild. It's so wild. So it's my duty, I think, to tell our stories, to push us out into the forefront. What I love most about photography, about being on set specifically, there's a moment. That moment when someone feels beautiful. It's something that they didn't see in themselves, but then you show them what it is that they can become, and their whole persona changes. Their shoulders come back, they get super confident, they walk out with a smile on their face, and that is honestly the most beautiful thing I can give somebody. When I think of someone that inspires me, I think of my grandfather. It's great that we're talking about storytelling because all I have are stories of him. All I have is, oh, you're so much like him. When he was your age, he would do this. There's something about having this mystery person that you're never actually gonna know in the background that you can aspire to be, that just builds you up and makes you stronger. This is my grandfather's ring, and I have not put this on in years. This ring is passed down to my father and then to me. When I see this ring, I have all these pictures of him in this ring, and I feel so connected to him, and I feel so connected to my culture. having this on my finger. It was such a point of contention between my father and I because, he didn't want to give it up. He lost his father, that was his best friend, that's who he wanted to be. And it was such a hard thing for him to pass it on. And when he finally did, I knew that it was just a bond that he and I shared. It was an interesting point in my life too because I had come out recently and my father and I weren't really on the best terms. So the fact that he even still gave it to me, I was like, okay, I'm seen, I'm loved, I'm heard. And it was a good bridge between us. I often think about what kind of legacy I will leave behind. If I was to die right now, how would I want people to see me? And I want people to remember me as someone that they felt at home with, that they felt as soon as I was in their presence, they felt calm, they felt seen, they felt heard, they felt loved. I want people to look at the work that I left behind and know that this is who queer people want to be seen as. I want them to know that being Black and Latino is a thing. It's a thing. We're not a monolith. Basically, what I want to leave behind is a legacy of warmth and love. My name is Roberto, and I'm a storyteller.